Hello, it's Common. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Obviously, we've had some natural disasters in this country over the last several months, from the hurricanes in Florida to the wildfires in California. And I hear a lot of people blaming the government. Marjorie Taylor Greene and her nutty ass self saying that the government can control weather and they did it intentionally because they didn't want Republicans to vote. You know how stupid that sounds? And guess what? There's probably somebody out there believing it. Or that the fire commissioner out in LA, because she's a lesbian and she's a somewhat DEI hire, that they're having all these issues with these wildfires. First of all, it's a natural disaster. Obviously, climate change is a real deal. I don't care if you try to sweep it under the rug or not. It is what it is. It's the real deal. I live in Pennsylvania. Up until a couple of weeks ago, we've had a mild winter. I've lived here in the state all my life. Around September, October, it would get cold and stay cold all season up until about March, April. Then it would warm up. We don't get winters like that here anymore. In one of my other videos I was talking about, I had some lilac bushes alongside the house and they started to bloom. I saw birds that should be flying south still here. It confuses the ecosystem. But with any of that, we as a people have control. You know, we're polluting the atmosphere with our cars, our hairsprays, everything else. We're contaminating the water, the soil, you know, with our waste that we throw in landfills. Now, we're causing a lot of these problems on our own. So you can't really blame the government. And the one thing that I heard no one say, and I do watch a lot of political views on YouTube, different channels, you know, trying to, you know, I pick something up from this person, I take something from this person. I try to blend it in and make it my own. But guess what? The reason why the government isn't involved in any of this, take one good guess. I'll give you a second. Seconds up. The government doesn't like to pay. They don't like to pay for shit. You and I, personally, if you were down on your luck, the government would say, go fuck yourself. See if you get some food stamps, maybe get some housing assistance. But they're not going to do anything to help you. They've given more money, which I'm okay with, to the people in Ukraine than they do their own people. Remember the bailout? You know, in 2008, before Obama came in and all these companies were going belly up, the government helped them. They didn't help us. We were hurting too. They don't like paying money out. And when they do give money, guess who they like to give it to? Rich companies and million and billionaires. They don't like helping the little guy. So these natural disasters that happened in Florida, that happened in California, those bitches are crying. It's like, oh man, we're going to have to give up billions of dollars to help the average American. We don't like doing it. Now, they might come out and say, you know, they'll put a good face on. It's like, yeah, you know, we're going to send you the money. We're going to do what we can. But that's like, you know, you got a cousin or a brother that, you know, likes to borrow money from you, but they don't like to pay it back. He's like, oh man, hey, can I get $500? I'm a little short on the rent. You know, I can't buy any groceries, and you feel guilty, but you do it anyways. You know, and then you go, oh man, it's going to be a bitch to get this money back. The government's damn near broke. We're trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. And then to pay out hundreds of billions of dollars to help build people's homes? And people are that dumb to think that the government would cause these accidents so they can pay out. Think about that one. Would you go wreck your own car just to pay out? No, I shouldn't say that. That's not a good example, because I know one or two people that did that, gotten caught by the insurance company, got in a little trouble. But the average person doesn't do that. The average person isn't going to go burn down their house so they can get money. I'm not saying people haven't done it, but I'm saying the average person wouldn't do that. And the government being the government and the way they run things, they don't like paying out. They try to avoid it at all costs. So those that believe like the Marjorie Taylor Greenes of the world, shame on you. Pick up a book. Read a little bit more, you know, because these people are playing you for a fool where you believe, oh, well, that must really happen. She said it. No. The main reason why it's not true is the government doesn't like paying out. You know, believe you me, I know somebody had, they worked all their lives. They were having some money problems. They got sick. They were sick for about a year, year and a half. They were losing everything. They're going to lose their house, their car. And they tried to get all kinds of help from the government. See if they can get food stamps. See if they can get help with the housing, with their heating and utility bills. And the government said no. They said, unless you lose everything, we might be able to do something for you. But the person didn't want to go that far. It's like, hey, look, I just need a little bit more time. I'm going to get better. And then once I get back on my feet, I'll take care of this. And guess what? The government said no. And typically they say no to us, even though we're the ones who pay the money in. And that's a tragic story because the gentleman actually started a GoFundMe page. And I felt good for him because he did get enough donations. So he did, make it throughout. He was able to pay his bills throughout his illness. He got better. He got back on his feet. But guess who helped him out? The people that knew him. The people that saw the GoFundMe page. It wasn't the government. So when you're sitting there thinking that they're causing these problems, you're thinking the wrong way. You should always, in this country, in the United States of America, I will say, it's always about the bottom line, and the bottom line is $1. It's always about $1, about them keeping it for themselves and not paying out. So on that note, learn more so you can do better.